Well, guys, welcome to our Drunken History. We're here in my living room. My wife is away for the night, so we're doing it here in the house. Don't tell her. Tonight, we are doing an episode we've been talking about for a long time. America's oldest continuous operating brewery is Yuengling out of Pennsylvania.
Yeah, they're headquartered in Pottsville, Pennsylvania.
They are. And, I got some friends from that area. So
really?
Yeah. So when I first got to North Carolina, I never heard of Yuengling. Yuengling, for the longest time, was not available west of the Mississippi. So I'd never heard of it.
That's right.
Yeah. Never drank it growing up.
No, I never drank it until actually I went to Virginia for some training for the military, and I was out there at a base right outside of Williamsburg, and
Which is a great place in itself.
yeah, and that the what do you call it? The little rec center they had there on base.
They had it?
They had it on tap there. It's the first time I ever seen it. And I was like, it's $8 a pitcher or something like that. And it's like, heck yeah, let's go for it.
Yeah.
And that's what turned me on to it. And every time I'd go to the East Coast, I would have it. And now they finally sell it here.
Yeah, I got stationed out in North Carolina, and we went to a Logan's Roadhouse out there when I was.
Okay.
That was the party place in Goldsboro, North Carolina, when I was stationed there. And me and my buddies would sit up at the bar, and we got to be on pretty good terms with the bartender, so she would sell us beer underage.
Oh, nice.
So we would be drinking 23 ounces. And I had my 21st birthday there. And
You've been there for 2 years.
We've been drinking there for 2 years, and they were like, hey.
Yay.
That one bartender had left by that point, and everybody else just had been.
Yeah, they knew you.
They just assumed.
Oh, that's awesome.
So we drank underage there for a long time before. And then we had my 21st birthday party there, and they were like, what the fuck? And we're like, what? What are you going to do now?
Yeah.
Cut me off?
Don't tell anybody.
Yeah. So, but it was good. Then went to Korea, went to Vegas, and could not get it.
Yeah.
Missed it. Love it.
That's always look forward to those like TDYs to the East Coast because I go there, and that was like one of the beers I would drink either in the airport or if you went to a local bar, if you was going somewhere on the East Coast, like I want to get a Yuengling one there, and then I'd grab like a 12-pack and throw it in my suitcase on the way home or whatever. And
well, it became big news here in Arkansas when Yuengling was finally going to be sold in this wonderful natural state.
Yeah.
And Jesse and I were at work the day that it.
Yeah, that's right.
And we drove across the street to there's a liquor store right across the street from our work. We drove over there when the Yuengling truck pulled up and got pictures with it.
Oh yeah, they had the truck.
I'll see if I can find one. We'll throw it up if we got them. I'll throw it up. The delivery truck showed up and we went out and got pictures with it.
Yeah, I got it the first case of Yuengling straight off the truck.
That's pretty much what we did. Yeah.
Yeah, they had like a little booth and all that stuff set up there too, didn't they? Like giving out samples and all that.
Yeah, we were there while they were setting up the booth.
Yeah, help them set it up.
We were excited. Yeah. So anyway, now we buy plenty of it, and I'm a fan of most of their beers. You know, I like I'm not a big black and tan guy, but I like their black and tan.
Yeah, they've got several different styles or flavors, whatever you want to call it. The one that I've been drinking here lately too is the Flight.
I really like it.
It is. It's a light lager, and we don't have any of today. I thought we had some in the fridge still, but we don't.
We drank it.
We drank it all. But I guess it's kind of their answer to like Mick Ultra.
Yeah.
And I like it better than Ultra anyway, though too.
Yeah, big time. Yeah. If you guys have a choice between the two, do yourself a favor and don't get the Ultra.
Yeah.
No offense, Ultra fans. We appreciate your bodybuilding commercials and you going for runs. Don't give a shit though.
Yeah. Then one of my other favorites, they have the blonde lager. It's a really good one.
Yeah, the blonde is good. The Hershey's special edition.
Yeah, we got some of that left over from our Halloween episode.
Yeah, and it's still good.
So we'll pull some of that out here after. It's in the fridge chilling right now.
It's hanging out. Yeah, 'cause we usually leave it in the cooler and out in the
shed.
The shed, and it warms up sometime.
we still got beer in there from like 20 episodes ago. Like
we still got a whole case of good ass beer because we can't fucking bring ourselves to drink that crap.
No, that's right. Leave us a comment. Send us a PM with your address, and we'll send you a can of good-ass beer to
Not
try.
through the U.S. Postal Service, though.
We'll FedEx it.
Because that's not legal. We don't break the law.
That's right. You just got to film your reaction to it when you taste the rusty pennies. That's it.
Yeah, you will hate us, but you'll agree.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So, founded in 1829. You know, that's one thing I need to look up or we can figure out. It is definitely the oldest continuously operated brewery. And, you know, you're just thinking, when you first think of American breweries, you kind of think of like Budweiser.
Anheuser-Busch is always the one that everybody thinks of first.
But Yuengling was like, I think 20 or 30 years before the Adolphus Busch moved to the U.S. I think it was in the 1850s, late 1850s, I think is when
I would have to look it up, but I know Yuengling was first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, man, it's been family owned and operated.
It's cool how they do it.
Yeah.
And I didn't know this until we read about this. They don't pass it down. The kids buy it from the parent.
Yeah.
So each new generation buys it from the old generation. So it's still like an operating actual business, not a family. I mean, it is a legacy, but it's
well, it's like, because every there's a couple generations that some of the kids went off and started their own brewery separate from it. So they wanted to do it, but they didn't want to be necessarily following daddy's footsteps or whatever. So there's one son that started his own brewery. We can get into that maybe here later too.
Yeah.
But then I thought it was kind of neat. So the latest generation, that's the guy that owns it now. I think his name, I can't remember what his name is now actually, but
I don't know who the current. Probably ought to.
It's on here somewhere.
Richard. Dick Yuengling.
The current owner. So every generation we was talking about that, either passed down or bought by the son of the previous owner. So Dick Yuengling, the current owner, he has 4 daughters, but they are all highly involved with the operation. They're going to all take it over
with a female-owned business.
Yeah, so
I think it's great.
I think he kept having kids, wanting a son, but he kept popping out them girls.
Maybe he was just having a good time.
Having a good time, yeah. So there's actually a really good YouTube documentary that you go to the Yuengling YouTube channel. They have their own channel with like promo videos and stuff like that. But they have like a 45-minute long documentary that talks about their history as a brewery and all the stuff they went through. And that's kind of what I based some of this research for the episode on as well too.
I didn't know that.
But yeah, the daughters are all highly involved. Some of them went to college for marketing. One of them went to college for finance. And so they're all...
I mean, you couldn't pick a better...
Yeah, so they're all like really highly involved with it, yeah.
That's a pretty good setup. Huh. So as Travis stated, Yuengling was started in 1829 by David Gottlieb Yuengling, pronounced Yuengling, from Aldingen near Stuttgart, Germany, which I thought was kind of cool since we have a Stuttgart, Arkansas.
Yeah.
Duck hunting capital of the world. But anyway, he changed his name to the English spelling of it, Yuengling, that we know today. And he started it as the Eagle Brewery on Center Street in Pottsville, Pennsylvania, where it still is today.
Yeah. Which
is amazing in itself that building is.
Yeah, it's the same building, yeah.
That's incredible.
There was a fire, I think, in 1831, but they was able to rebuild and get everything back together and stuff.
Yeah, it relocated to 5th. To 5th Street. That's where it is now.
Yeah.
The new, yeah.
Well, so this funny thing we was talking about, so David Yuengling that started the whole operation, he came from a big family, the Yuengling family in Germany. Mm-hmm. I think he had 5 or 6 brothers, or maybe even more than that. He was the youngest of the brothers, and they actually had a brewery in Germany. But his older brothers had like the rights, or they were in the lineage of inheriting the brewery, and he was kind of the low man on the totem pole on it.
Yeah. So he started his own.
So he said, I'm going to America and I'm going to start my own. Like, I'm taking my ball and I'm going over here.
More power to the guy.
And so then he came to the U.S. from Germany and started his own brewery. Because he wasn't going to get anything out of the family business in Germany.
I mean, he did quite well.
Yeah.
He also opened in Virginia. He opened in New York. He opened in British Columbia, which is cool. I mean,
yeah, because back then they didn't have like the logistics networks like they do now, and like the breweries, they really only served like local areas because the transport cost and the time it took to transport anything back then was
forever. And like we covered in a previous episode, keeping beer fresh over long hauls was. I mean, it's still not a perfect science. You still.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, ask Bud Light. They're buying their old beers back now.
Yeah. Well, they
can't fucking sell it anymore.
They still do that even nowadays. There's regional breweries even for beer nowadays though too.
Yeah.
It's all owned by one company, but they have that way the beer isn't in transit as long, so that way it can be fresh when it shows up.
Well, today there's 3 operating breweries for Yuengling, 2 in Pennsylvania and 1 in Tampa.
So the Tampa story was. Did you see anything about how that brewery came to exist in Tampa? So the Dick Yuengling, the owner of it now, this is back in the 90s. Yuengling was pretty struggling at that point, and they hadn't expanded near as far as they were still pretty much strictly in the New England area. And his daughters got him a gift for a Father's Day gift, and they bought him this. He's a big baseball fan.
Okay.
And they bought him this fantasy baseball package kind of thing where he went to a baseball camp in Tampa to meet and greet with some of the major league players or whatever.
Yeah.
And they went to a stadium, but then when he was there in Tampa, he saw there's this brewery for sale, and it was I can't remember who had owned it before that, but he was wanting to expand on the East Coast, and they didn't have the capacity at the plant in Pennsylvania, and he wanted to add capacity. And it's like, I'm down here. I'm going to buy the brewery. So he got back home. And I think he told his dad, because his dad was still alive at the time, and he told his daughter, I bought a brewery while I was down there.
That's amazing. I got a story for that, but I gotta pause a minute.
Okay, there you go.
So Yuengling was actually kind of a struggling company.
Yeah, they had their highs and lows. They struggled for a while, but they mainly stayed as a local brewery for the longest, in which we would call a microbrewery nowadays.
Well, they still technically, I wouldn't call them a microbrewery where they're a craft brewery.
Yeah.
So they're not macro brewery like Anheuser-Busch or Coors, Miller Coors, or any of the big boys.
It says their output's 2.9 million barrels a year, which I think anything under 6 million barrels is still considered a craft brewery.
So Sam Adams is still considered a craft brewery, correct?
I think it's the world's largest craft brewer or something they call it, or something like that. But
they're teetering.
And really, Yuengling, we're talking about Sam Adams, is very similar to Sam Adams to me, except Sam Adams has more hops in their beer. It's a little bit more bitter. And that's why one thing I actually like Yuengling more about is because Sam Adams is always a little bit too bitter for me, for my taste. But I think Yuengling has the better balance. It's not quite as.
I fucking love Yuengling.
Yeah,
I would say it's definitely a top 5. Yuengling original regular lager is definitely in my top.
Yeah,
probably my top 2-3 beers that I've ever had. I love Moose Drool, but I mean that's a Montana thing, I think.
Yeah,
I fucking love Moose Drool. I really like Fat Tire.
Yeah.
And I love Yuengling, so I would say that's probably my top 3. Yuengling did, Prohibition hit, and it was such a death blow to so many alcohol manufacturers.
There was a lot of breweries that went out of business because of it,
Yeah, and they got through by going the route that a lot of companies are today, making a near beer. Where
they started off with the near beer.
Yeah.
And the thing was too, is with it being a family-owned company, they were actually pretty close with all their employees. So there's a lot of these breweries that went out of business, and the workers had to go back to work in the coal mines and all that stuff.
Wherever,
And they didn't want to have that for their employees, so they was able to export a certain amount, and then they was able to make the near beer, and then
get into ice cream.
Well, after that too, then they got there was rumors. I don't think they'll ever confirm the rumors, but they have this that's one thing too. If you do a brewery tour, I want to go up there and do a tour of the brewery. They have these caves underneath the brewery that they hand dug. They had hired a bunch of coal miners.
Guys who are pretty good at digging caves.
Good at digging caves. And they dug these big ass caves underneath the brewery into the bedrock. And it was where they stored all their it was like where all their bottling equipment was, and they stored their kegs of beer down there. And they had all these big pipes ran down through the ground into the caves. And they said they had these pipes ran underground to different parts of town, and they was actually shipping off beer during Prohibition to other places.
No.
And they said there's rumors of that, but they don't.
Unverified,
yeah. But their big thing, they bought a dairy creamery that was across the road from the brewery, because the owner at the time didn't want to fire his employees. He wanted to get his employees work, so they started making ice cream. So
they made ice cream, and they opened some dance halls.
Oh, I didn't see the dance halls.
They had a dance hall in Philadelphia, Baltimore, and in New York City.
Oh, everybody likes a good dance hall.
Everybody likes ice cream and dancing.
There you go. Yeah, so and the thing is though, so after Prohibition, they kept making the ice cream for several years, but then they eventually shut the production back down.
Yeah.
But here recently, in the last few years, they started it back up again. So they're making.
Did they really?
Yeah.
Where the hell do we get Yuengling ice cream?
We got to. I'm guessing it's on the East Coast.
Regional.
Yeah, regional thing, because they renovated
show on the road.
Yeah. They renovated the old creamery and they put in a big gift shop, a museum, and all that. And you go there and get ice cream and beer now at their gift shop.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
I'm buying some of that. Give me just a minute here. Sorry.
Have to Google where to get Yuengling ice cream.
Yeah, I would definitely eat that. If any of our listeners, watchers, viewers, whatever.
Yeah.
Patrons live in Pennsylvania, and you guys feel like overnighting some ice cream,
packing some ice cream and dry
I'll
ice.
shoot you my address.
Heck yeah, yeah. With the Prohibition thing. So we was talking about that a few episodes ago. We was talking about FDR and how he campaigned on ending Prohibition.
Yeah.
Whenever FDR signed the bill to end Prohibition, Yuengling sent an entire truckload of beer to the White House.
I saw that. As a thank you, sir.
Yeah, thanks for ending it.
Yeah, we appreciate you.
Heck yeah.
I bet he drank it.
I bet he did, yeah. He drank like 5 martinis a day or something, they said.
He did. Oh, God.
Heck yeah, so that'd be nice to get a whole truckload. There was a video I saw online, this woman, and I think it was in Pennsylvania, she was turning like 105 or whatever.
Yeah.
And she said, I think when she had turned 100 or something, she did an interview on the local news channel or something, and she said she drank a Yuengling every day as part of her...
I bet that bumped their local sales too.
Well, so like when she turned like 105 or like the next year or something, Yuengling showed up with a truck, and they unloaded like a pallet of beer at her birthday party.
That's awesome.
Yeah, they did it on the news and all that stuff.
Awesome.
Had the local reporters and all out there for it.
Oh, that's awesome. So the brewery in Pennsylvania is on the National Register of Historic Places as the oldest in the United States. It's also listed in the Pennsylvania Register of Historic Places, which is pretty cool. Or inventory. I apologize. They don't call it the register. They call it the inventory.
Inventory of...
Yeah. It's been a registered trademark only since 1995.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I know. It feels like they were a little behind the curve.
Yeah, they should.
Yeah, like someone could have jumped their bones.
Yeah, and got that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy when you think of how long trademarks have been around.
I know.
You would have thought they'd have.
They would have, got at it a little sooner.
Yeah. So one of the big things that the current owner did, Dick Yuengling, I think he took over the brewery, I think in 1985.
Yeah.
And And at the time, they were still strictly a local brewery or a regional brewery of they distributed to a few states.
Yeah.
But their brewery that they have there right now, it just did not have the capacity to get any further. And he kept trying to talk to his dad when his dad was running the brewery. Hey, we need to buy another building, or we need to
expand,
and we need to get new machinery that can keep up faster and stuff. And his dad didn't want to do it. He said, "Hey, we're fine where we're at. We're making a living."
Yeah.
And from time to time, the company went through some hard times where they didn't they were struggling. Well, and then the whole Tampa thing happened where so I guess Dick Yuengling went to college and he finally decided to come back and take over the business then.
Yeah.
And one of the first things he did was he bought that brewery in Tampa.
And he hired a bunch of employees from Stroh's Beer.
Yeah.
Yeah, Stroh's hasn't been around since I remember Stroh's as a little kid. I actually do.
Yeah, I don't think I ever saw it because I don't think it was ever around.
Well, I don't know if I ever saw it, but I do remember the commercials.
Oh, okay, yeah. And that was one of the things he was really big into technology and innovation and automation. So they brought in a bunch of new machinery to increase capacity because he was really wanting to spread it out further. And that's what really helped get the business going and made it more profitable at that point.
Yeah. Well, then they opened the second Pennsylvania plant.
Yeah.
That is running today in Port Carbon. Right? No, Port Carbon's the Tampa one. Sorry, my bad. Schuylkill Hill. That's where the other one is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, they opened that one, and that one helps with the demand. But I still don't understand why they don't have, with the demand that they have and the popularity they have now.
Yeah.
Why they haven't opened one further west?
Well, so they just announced here recently that they're going to start selling in Texas. Was their latest.
That'll be a bump.
Their latest, and they actually signed. So there's some people were kind of mad at this. I don't know if they really understood the logistics of it. So they're actually planning on pushing further west, and they actually just signed a leasing deal with Molson Coors. So,
no shit.
So some people thought that, and that's where this misconception was. They're still owned and operated. They're no other company owns Yuengling but the Yuengling family. They signed it's basically like a deal to where they will rent a portion of Molson Coors breweries to make their beer in their plants. So they're going to actually they're planning on expanding further west.
Okay. Using
Coors breweries to brew their beer to so they can have further westward expansion.
Good.
But some people got all mad about them. They said they sold out. And they didn't sell out. They basically just leased.
Paying rent.
They leased manufacturing place.
Yeah, there's nothing
from Coors.
That's just good business.
Exactly. So they don't have to invest in all the extra infrastructure it would take to.
Yeah, they're just paying Coors rent.
Yeah, basically.
I'm all for that.
Yeah, they
keeps it small family owned, but
and so it
just increases their footprint.
That's right. They're using the same recipes that they've used for years, and that way. Because I think Oklahoma just got distribution of it now, and then I think they're bringing up Texas. I think this year, or they might already have it in Texas now too.
Yeah, Yuengling announced it would expand to Arkansas in January of 2018.
Yeah, and I remember that because it was like March or April 2018 when y'all was out there at the beer truck in the parking lot.
Yep. I will put that picture up.
Yeah.
They are very anti-union, which I didn't know.
Yeah, that's kind of odd coming from, because I know the unions are pretty big in the New England area and stuff. But
I did see where they did not. They had a union employees working for them, and they did not renew their contract with that.
Oh, really?
It was the Teamsters.
Oh, yeah.
I believe.
Yeah. Well, the Teamsters were known to kind of. They have some history of being kind of.
My dad was a Teamster.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
So one of the beers that they developed within partnership of Hershey's.
Yeah.
It was another Pennsylvania company. Was this Hershey's Porter, It's like a dark lager with
not quite a stout, but
is it a twist top or is this a? Oh, I don't know.
It is, you pussy.
Oh, I think the cap's been on there so long now.
Pressure sealed.
Yeah.
Here, I get it.
Got it. Yep, I just broke mine.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Well, don't drink from that side.
Make sure I see if I get some glass in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a darker beer. Infused with some chocolate. We'd gotten these for
the Halloween episode.
Because it was chocolate. And it's like one of their fall beers that they poured out.
Still good.
It's not bad.
Tastes chocolatey as hell. It is good, though.
But yeah, it's a dark beer that you can see on there.
It's good.
It's almost one of those like a dessert beer. Like you wouldn't want to. I wouldn't sit here and drink a sixer of them, but I would.
I'd have one.
Yeah.
No, I will have one.
There it is. Yeah, snap the glass snapped right off in the cap on that one.
Don't know your own strength,
man. Yeah. Let's see here. What else do we have to go over on this?
Well, I was going to talk about. They had a fire. They had some drama. They had a fire in the Tampa plant in 2013.
Yeah.
Got that fixed. 2014 is when they brought ice cream back. I see that on here. I did not read that before.
Oh, okay, yeah. They had a little bit of political drama because the owner, the current CEO, Dick Yuengling, endorsed Donald Trump for president.
Yeah.
So there's going to be some that might agree or disagree with that, but he was a Trump supporter, and I think he's still endorsing him though too.
Yeah, I'm sure he is, which is business-wise, considering his proximity to the Delaware Valley.
Yeah.
And the demand in that area for it. That's, ballsy move.
Yeah, exactly.
But, like Trump or not, I don't care. But I got to respect this guy, Dick, for putting his beliefs, his personal beliefs above his finances.
Yeah, he stuck with it. He didn't back down from it.
Yeah. I'm not a...
Well, and they kind of made some news here lately, though, too. If we was talking about the whole Bud Light stuff going on. I guess the week after the whole fiasco that happened with Bud Light, if you guys know about it, you know about it.
But sure you all do.
The week.
If you're watching this, you're aware.
Yeah. The Yuengling put out an ad, and it was just basically a picture of their brand label, and it said, "We still produce real beer for real men."
Pretty good.
So I think their sales hit a spike with that ad.
That's pretty good.
Yeah,
it is. I try not to politicize this podcast.
Yeah, we try not to.
But I think that's pretty damn funny.
Sometimes it bleeds over a little bit.
I'm not. This is the thing. I'm not anti-trans. I don't give a shit. I would class myself more as a libertarian.
Yeah.
You do you, I do me. I'm not gonna fuck with you, don't fuck with me. But just purely physically, the fact is,
yeah,
boys are faster and stronger than girls. It's the truth.
Yeah.
You can't have them competing against each other and going for the same fucking medal.
Yeah,
or the same trophy or whatever. You can't do it. Girls have to play against girls and boys have to play against boys. If you want to do it right, create a league for transsexuals to be in their own league. I don't care. Then that's fine. But it's you can't argue with the biology of it. I don't care. You know, on a personal level, I don't give a shit. You can do whatever you want that makes you happy. I do whatever I want that makes me happy. There's no difference.
Well, that's right. Yeah.
But you can't. You just can't do it.
Oh yeah.
That's my belief. I don't. If you don't like it anymore, I don't care. But you just can't have fucking men and women playing the same sport at the same time, and it not be slanted towards the men. And in that same breath, I have to say there are so many things that women are better at.
Yeah.
And men cannot fucking compete with. And you can't. It goes the other way too. It's the same fucking thing. You can't have. Everybody's got to be in the same level playing.
Yeah. Well, speaking of that, you're talking about women being better at certain things, and it's not in an area that you might think. In a normally male-dominated profession, they say women make better welders than men.
That's true. That is 100% true, and I know that because I worked in a welding shop for a while.
Yeah.
Women welders kick men's ass, and it is a very male-dominated.
Yeah.
You know, it's a masculine career.
Yeah.
And I don't give a shit if you have a dude and a chick, and they both have their torches, and they're fucking wire feed welders.
Yeah.
You know who I'm going with.
Well, and I think they say it's like traditionally or women usually have more patience, which requires a lot of you got to go slow and methodical in welding to make sure stuff is done correctly.
And steady your hands.
So yeah, steady your hands, more attention to detail, and more patience, and that leads to better welding.
That's like the main ingredients to good welding.
Yeah.
That's true, man. If you've been around welding or worked in a welding shop or whatever, you can go to a store and see things that have been like fucking bicycles.
Yeah.
You can see if they're like who's done a good job, and I know it's all automated now, but when we were younger,
so that shit looks like it's been put together like a hot glue gun. It's just like scooped
you would
on there.
See shit before, and you'd be like, "Well, that was a Friday bike." Yeah. Another thing I'll say is I'm a big Naked and Afraid fan. I don't know if many of you are. I fucking love that show, and I will say that one thing I have learned from watching that show, you know, and I would have disagreed with this before, but now 100% I know I'm fucking right, and I don't care what anybody says. Women are better survivors than men, and it's because they, for many of the same reasons, guys, and I still agree with this too. Guys go in predominantly with a better skill set. Guys typically spend more time outdoors. Guys typically have more of the skills that should be successful for outdoor situations. Like, and this isn't some people color outside the lines, and I get that. But it's not a definitive men are better than this, women are better than this, at this. But for the most part, guys are better outdoorsy shit because we tend to do it more.
Yeah.
But women succeed on that show, and women are better at survival because they can deal with being outside of their comfort zone way better. You get guys on that show, and if they're really good fire builders, but they're in a really damp spot and they can't make a fire happen, they fucking quit.
Yeah.
You get guys who are big hunters. I'm a hunter, and they're in a place that doesn't have many animals, and they don't kill something. They get ass hurt and they fucking quit.
Yeah.
And women persevere through. They do. They can be in a shitty situation, and for some reason, some sixth sense that they have, they can put it together and get through. And they just deal with hardship better than men do.
Usually, I think like men, a lot of times though, they get in their box, and if there's something happens that's outside of what they're, because men, I think a lot of times get with, they like how things are. They get like in a rhythm, and if like something upsets that rhythm or upsets like their norm,
they take their ball and they go home.
Yeah.
And I've never been in that situation, so I can't say how I would react. I hope I would react better, but I don't think that I would. I think I would get pissed off and I would say, fuck this, I'm done. And that's just an honest self-assessment. But I guarantee you my fucking amazing wife would be like, okay, on to the next hurdle. Yeah.
Well,
but I think her and I together would kick ass because I do all the hunting thing. I feel like I could make a fire. I don't know. I've never tried, but in my head I can do it.
Yeah.
I probably have no fucking clue.
Are you one of those the Sunday morning quarterbacks watching Naked Afraid or Alone? It's like, I could do that shit.
So no, I'm not. I can't say that. No, I'm not, because I admit that I don't know my native plants. I know some, but not all. Don't know the medicinal plants at all.
You know, killing myself from eating the wrong plant or something.
Yeah. But like, I'm really good at fishing.
Yeah.
And like, I could do like whatever.
Yeah. Well, one thing that always,
what's the word? Not
like you're talking about like a bushcraft or you could build a shelter.
Fuck, I'm drinking. My words don't go together. Shit. I'm prehistoric, but
primitive.
Primitive.
There it is.
Damn,
that's the word you're looking
primitive.
for.
That's the word. I feel like I could do primitive fishing gear.
Yeah.
I feel like I could. Like, I can fucking hunt. I shoot bows every fucking day. Literally every day I'm outside shooting my bow. Like, I'm a pretty fucking good archery guy. And I shoot not only a fucking killer fucking compound bow. Thank you, my beautiful wife, for giving me that bow. I also shoot recurve bows. I feel like I could strap one together out of a fucking stick and a string I could make out of cordage, and I could get through.
Yeah. Well,
but I also have a tendency to have a really short fuse and throw a tantrum now and then.
One of the things that always chapped me on some of those shows, like I never got really big into Naked and Afraid, but I was a really big fan of Alone on History Channel.
That's a badass show.
I love that show. But I've seen it. I haven't seen the last couple seasons, but the first several seasons I've seen, and it happened every time. There was 2 or 3, like at least one, but usually multiple contestants that would be out there for like a week or 2 weeks, and they're doing fine. Like they're surviving. They're finding food. They're finding water. And they're like, I miss my family, so I'm going home. And like. It coming, and I know I'm a little bit biased on that stuff.
Yeah, because of our lifestyle that we've led.
But me and you both have been on deployments to shitholes of the world.
Yeah,
you miss your family. We've been gone for months at a time away from our family. We're getting shot at or whatever.
Bit by shit.
Yeah, freaking dealing with whatever wildlife.
Fucking terrible snakes.
And then you have some yahoo that's survived, and he's built a cabin out in the woods, and he's got a fish trap, and he's got like salmon all like out on this rack.
He has all the basic needs.
He has everything covered, and he's like, I miss my family, so I'm going. You've been out there for 2 weeks, motherfucker.
Yeah.
And you're saying that you miss your wife? Like,
I'm of the same thing where that aspect of it, I can fucking guarantee you would not eat at me. Don't get me wrong, I would miss my family.
Yeah, but you got to deal with it though.
But that's the thing. Like, if I'm of that whole, I feel like from a outlier historical standpoint, looking at my life.
Yeah.
When shit gets shitty, I feel like I get better. When I'm in bad situations, I'm at my peak.
And you learn how to compartmentalize though too. Like it sucks, and when you put it in a it kind of sounds kind of cold in a way, but you block that shit out. Like, especially if you're in a survival situation, and on that show they literally are in a survival situation. Yeah. You got to be able to block that shit out.
Yeah, and you can't. But you got to look at it like the goal is to live in a primitive way for a set amount of time. You set that goal and you fucking stick to it. The cavemen couldn't say, I'm going home.
Yeah, exactly.
They were home.
Wherever they were laying that day. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is home.
Yeah. So you would have to go into that. And I feel like you could do it. I feel anybody who's been on, specifically people who've been on multiple deployments to not fancy places, like there are deployments that are cush.
Yeah.
If you tell me you deployed to LUD,
that's not a deployment.
Fuck off.
If your deployed location has a swimming pool and a Burger King, that's not a deployment.
Yeah, that's not a deployment. Yeah, but if you eat dirt,
yeah,
you've been deployed.
Yeah.
Yeah. I totally agree. All you need, man. I remember going there and they had a fucking Dairy Queen.
The place was awesome to go. When we came through there and transit through there, you're like, oh man, I'm gonna get.
They had a Fox Sports bar.
My 3 beers a day there and go through there. I spent a week there.
Transit. If you're at a place that has available alcohol, you're not deployed.
Yeah.
Now, I've been to places that you can't drink the goddamn water.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So that's deployed.
Yeah. When you're having you're fighting off malaria and wild animals and freaking.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh man.
Travis almost got in a fight with a fucking baboon.
Oh yeah, that was. I think I got a picture of that. Like it was just like a picture as I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, face to face with a baboon, face to face with a warhog, dude.
Yeah, I never had that. I ran into African porcupines, and they're huge.
Oh,
they're way bigger than the ones we have.
I chased a hippo with a golf cart.
He
was bigger than.
Yeah, I never had that. I had jackals. I ran across some jackals.
Oh man.
Yeah, that was. They're fucking scary.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There was times in the middle of the night. So this is out in northern Africa, out in the bush.
Yeah.
And it's dark out there. There's no lights. And you hear some of those.
We had crocs there too, right?
We had crocodiles. We was at this fob, this airfield we had built up, and crocodiles would come out on the runway to sun, and we'd have to go out there in either the truck or a golf cart and a stick and run off the crocodiles off the runway, and they would hiss at you and try to bite at the tires and stuff, and then at night the hippos would be out there on the runway. They'd be eating the grass along the sides of the runway and stuff, so we'd have to go out there and with the spotlight and make sure hippos weren't on the runway and stuff. And
most of my terrifying shit was snakes.
Oh yeah.
You know, we killed what's the one? Not a gaboon viper, the other one.
We had
a puff adder. We killed a puff adder. We had a black mamba. We had several African carpet vipers and saw-scaled vipers, and my buddies ran across a Caspian cobra at another place.
Yeah, we had several mambas that we would came across that.
Mambas are fucking terrifying.
Yeah, and they're huge too. They're not like a real fat snake. They're really long.
Fast.
Yeah.
Like you can't outrun one.
Yeah, they're nuts. But yeah,
and they're like aggressive.
Yeah,
like that's like most snakes, like because I've run into a lot of rattlesnakes over the course of my life, and like some big ones, you know. And I'm not talking big as a mamba, but like 5 footers.
Yeah,
which is a big goddamn rattlesnake.
Yeah,
but what do?
Yeah,
they curl up in their little S thing, and then you walk away, and they're like, okay.
Yeah,
mambas will fucking straight come after your ass.
Yeah, they'll either go away from you or come at you. There's really not like in between.
Yeah, but they're faster than you. They can slither at like 15 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Which...
And an 8-foot long freaking nope rope, that's going to...
Yeah, when I was running track in high school, I probably could have run over 15 miles an hour. But now my fat ass ain't going 15.
No.
I'll sacrifice myself.
Oh, man.
You guys go on.
Well, so like our doc said that. He said, if you get bit by a mamba, he said, I don't have any antivenom. He said, antivenom's like 4 hours away.
You're not going to live. Yeah.
He said, so I'm going to give you morphine to make you comfortable. So he said, don't fucking get bit by a mamba.
That was the same way with the African carpet vipers. We did not have the anti-venom for those.
Yeah.
Yeah. They said the same thing.
He said, you see a freaking mamba, don't mess with it. Don't get bit because I can't help you.
Yeah.
Shit.
The puff adder actually fell out of a wheel well. One of our planes, they had called up the landing gear and was laying in the wheel well. And it fell out on taxi.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So everybody had been walking around it.
Yeah.
No one caught it.
Oh, man.
It rolled out on taxi out, and we were like, oh, shit. But could you imagine that plane flying over and a frozen fucking puff adder falls on? What the hell?
Falls out of the sky and lands on some... Man.
Yeah. Anyway.
Shit. We got way off topic on that.
We went off on a fucking... Yeah, we took a side road. There are a lot more beers than I thought. So a list of the beers produced by Yuengling are the traditional lager, of which we were drinking earlier.
Yeah, we got and they restarted producing that in 1987. I think it was a recipe they had used way back in the day, and they stopped making it. So then they brought it back.
They came out with a light lager, which is akin to a Coors Light or a Bud Light or Miller Light.
Yeah.
So it's just a low calorie version of the traditional.
It's still got more flavor than a Coors
Yeah,
Light.
it's definitely, you can tell it's a craft brew, not a macro brew. Yuengling Premier Beer, which was their big boy prior to the reintroduction of the traditional.
Yeah.
It's mostly sold in Pennsylvania as of 2020.
Yeah, because I don't think I've ever seen it here.
I never knew it existed until we did this. Yuengling Premium Light Beer, same thing, just a toned down version. The original Black and Tan, which is 40% premium, 60% dark porter, introduced in '86.
I don't think I've ever had one of the Black and Tan.
I've had them. We drank them in North Carolina. Not a lot. I'm not a big Black and Tan guy, but theirs is pretty good.
Okay.
They do a dark brewed porter, obviously, because it's more than half of the Black and Tan. It's a dark cola color, they say, appearing almost black and gold. I've never had the dark porter itself.
Well, I'm guessing it's probably a lot like this, the Hershey Porter, that just without the chocolate aftertones with it. Because I think that's what they based it off of with this, with them as the with that their dark porter. Because it doesn't show up on the list on their Wikipedia page as the Hershey doesn't show up on their list.
Well, they call it Pottsville Porter, as its just regular name.
Oh, okay.
Lord Chesterfield Ale. I never heard of this one.
Actually, I saw this one. They have it at the beer shop. It was the first time I ever saw it. Yeah, at Sodi's over there.
Apparently, it's very hoppy.
Yeah.
I don't know that I would like that then.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like their extra hoppy flavor, so it's probably going to be more along the lines of like the Sam Adams, I guess.
Yeah. Golden Pilsner, which I do like. That was just released not all that long ago.
No.
Here. Yeah. It was released 17, let's see.
Yeah.
In 2018. There we go. Yeah, it's not all that long ago. Oktoberfest. I have not had that. I didn't know they made an Oktoberfest beer. We'll have to try that at some point.
Maybe have to do another Oktoberfest follow-up this year.
Nothing wrong with that.
And try some more. Yeah, they do the Oktoberfest Yuengling, and Sam Adams has an Oktoberfest.
Yeah, I knew that. I've had that.
Maybe try some more of the Oktoberfest beers for one of those.
Flight, which I'm a big fan.
I like it. Yeah.
Introduced in 2020. Next generation of light beer is what they call it.
And really, they even put it in a tall, slim can, just like the Mick Ultras. I think it's going to be like their direct competitor. Yeah.
But it's much better.
It is.
Yeah. They also have in the past produced Yuengling Bach, Yuengling Summer Wheat, which I bet would be really good, Yuengling IPL, and India Pale Lager. And
Yeah, so they had several different recipes over the years that they've done, and they've kind of, discontinued some of the ones that weren't performing as well. I think the ones they have, especially, they're the Yuengling traditional lager they have is like their top seller, and that's the first one I ever had from them, and it's the one it's my go-to from them. And then they have the Golden and the Flight are both really good as well, but. Yeah, when I think of a Yuengling beer, I think of their traditional lager. And now they got for this month, these are in like a digital camo pattern can,
which is pretty cool for Memorial Day.
Yep. Normally it's like a maroon can, but yeah, these are their military appreciation cans that they have. So I like that.
Yeah, they partner with RWB for that. So. Anyway, that's all I know about Yuengling.
Yeah, It's been around for almost 200 years. It's an American tradition now at this point.
So may your kids drink this shit.
Heck yeah. I'm going to keep drinking it. We reached out, or I reached out to Yuengling on Twitter a couple weeks ago. They haven't responded back, so maybe if you guys tag them or something. I said, hey, do you guys want to sponsor a video?
What? That's what we should do. Play tag with Yuengling.
Yeah. I said, hey, Yuengling, we're doing an episode on the America's oldest brewery. Do you guys want to sponsor an episode? Send us a T-shirt or send us a case of beer.
I don't have a Yuengling T-shirt.
Yeah. So no, I don't. I need one.
I need one.
But they haven't responded back to me. Like I said, we're not cool enough to have sponsors yet. But
we do. We have a sponsor.
We have a single Patreon sponsor right now. So hey, but go check us out on Patreon if you want to sponsor an episode or sponsor us. Oh man, we appreciate it.
Yeah, guys, thank you for watching our show. Hope you enjoy it. Sorry for our sidebar.
We always get off a tangent somehow.
Yeah, it happens. As always, you can find us on YouTube. You can find us on Instagram. You can find us on Twitter. You can find us on Patreon. You can find us on Spotify. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us in between your couch cushions if you look hard enough.
There you go. Yeah, we're everywhere you look, anywhere you get your podcast, and
we will be there.
We appreciate the support. Make sure you leave us a review if you can. Leave us a 5-star. It helps get the channel pushed out to more people.
Share us with your friends and family.
That's right.
I don't know about you, but I like being shared.
That's right. Pass us around. Yeah. Shoot. I mean, this week and this month. That's another thing too. Like this month, we have really technically only put out one episode in the month of May. We put out the Sneaking of Mine
that's
episode.
my fault. We've had a lot of shit going on here at the house.
But despite that though, the month of May has been our best month ever when it comes to downloads and streams. We appreciate all the support and the shares because it seems like the channel is getting recognized and picked up by more and more people. Our followers on Instagram and on YouTube has grown, and we appreciate it.
Yeah, we really do, guys. And like we always say, we're here for you.
Yeah.
So if you have topics that you don't want to do research on, we will do the research and we will drink what we'll tell you about it.
Hell yeah.
If you just want to shout out and say, hey, we'll respond.
That's right. That's right, yeah.
We'll do better than Yuengling has done with us.
Even, I said I was going to be mad at them, but I'm not mad at them. They make good beer.
I'm not that butthurt. I'm still going to buy their product.
But a T-shirt would make me feel better.
I would like a hat.
So, we appreciate it, guys. Be sure to check us out on all of our different channels.
Yeah. We'll be back next week. We have another couple episodes in the works.
Yeah.
But we always appreciate a heads up on the topic.
We appreciate it, guys. Stay tuned for the next one.
Yep. We'll see you. Thank you for tuning in.